Rob, so there's some recent changes in the mortgage industry.
Sure.
Is it going to cost our buyers money or is it going to save them money?
Um, it's not as much about money as it's going to be about qualifications, tougher and easier, depending on which route they're going. Um, Most of our buyers and most of my clients are first-time home buyers using FHA, and FHA is definitely tightened up. Um, New guidelines are going into effect September 14th, and it's gonna make it a little tougher. Excuse me. Um,
When you mean
Conventional
tougher,
loans. What's
when
that?
you, when you mean tougher, what do you mean? So for FHA, it's going to be tougher to qualify.
It is. It is. The main biggest thing that they're changing is anybody with student loans. Um, in the past, FHA allowed us to ignore any student loans that was deferred for more than 12 months. Um, you can't do that anymore. They're going to have to count a payment regardless of when the student loans start the repayment. And if there's no payment plan in place, like if it's deferred, we have to count 2% of the outstanding balance as a monthly payment. So, I mean, the numbers are crazy. If someone's got 25,000 in student loans, we have to count a $500 payment against them. And when you go conventional, you're either going Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. So it's, this is only Fannie Mae, just so I don't mix anything up. They look like they're getting a lot easier. So I have a feeling, and there are 3% down payment conventional loans out there that we do a lot of now, which might rival FHA, and especially some of these guideline changes, that might be the way we're going to end up going. One of the biggest things is unreimbursed employee expenses. Fannie Mae has come out and said they don't care anymore. If you are on salary, overtime, bonus, base pay, hourly, or if less than 25% of your income is commission, we can ignore unreimbursed employee expenses when people have those write-offs and they write off mileage and uniforms and training and stuff on their taxes, which killed a lot of deals. Don't worry about it. Fannie Mae says we can ignore it. If you're over 25% commission, we have to count out more people. The other huge thing is people who have a primary residence now and they want to turn that into a rental property and they want to go buy a new home. FHA doesn't allow this unless you have 25% equity in the home. Freddie Mac requires you have 30% equity in the home. Fannie Mae will let you do it without an equity test, which is a brand new thing, which is huge.
Okay, so we can go back to just getting a lease.
You got to get a lease, and you've got to show whoever's renting it from you has to give you the first month's rent check or the down payment or deposit.
Lord.
And that's it. Yeah, and that's it. You write a letter to explain what you're doing with it. Plus, there was all these additional you needed to show in the past. You had to show 30% equity, and you had to show 6 months reserves on the rental property that you're leaving and on the new home. You don't have one anymore. 2 months of each is generally enough. So it's not an additional 6 months of reserves on both properties. So that's a huge change.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Foreclosures are down to about 10% of the market now, but there are still opportunities to save really big on a luxury foreclosure. Request a free weekly list and find the home you always wanted at a fraction of the price.